Okay, listen up. 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 Okay.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. America and all ships at sea. Flash! So, today's the last day of this project for now, because my goals are to get the fuel tank in, fuel lines mounted, and the wheels back on the ground, so I can connect the fuel lines to the fuel rail and get this back down on its wheels and running before the end of this day, or else I've been threatened by the tyrannical landlords that they're going to tow my piece of junk. So that's how it goes when you don't own your own house or shop. Eric the car guy can attest to that, except I don't have the wherewithal or the money to store anything. He's in a whole different situation, a whole different bracket than I am. But it's the same situation nonetheless. You know, people are pushed out of their norm into a corner by a bully who really doesn't give a crap about anybody. You know, that's what happens. So, I believe in karma. It all comes back. So here's what the rear end looks like. No pun intended. I miraculously got the trunk solenoid and the gas door solenoid both working. And the main problem, well, the only problem that I could see, was one of the grounds was corroded, I guess you can call it. It was not making ground. So I pulled it off, cleaned it up down to bare metal, and you know, the whole works, and clipped the wire, put a new end on it. I did all this in the dark as a last desperate move to say what the heck was going on here. Got the spacers all on for the new wheels. They'll torque down. And I mean, yeah, I want to drive my car, but I didn't want to drive it in the disrepair that, you know, that it is right now. But at least I can make it drivable. It's done. I had to put the fuel tank inside the car. Hey, the fuel tank's in the car, and well, it's in the front seat. There's the return line. There's the pressure line. I had to get, I should say, the last piece I was able to buy with my friend's help. I had to buy two of them. One for, if I had known it, I would have bought both of these a long time ago and been all ready. I would have had this done by now. But that's what happens. You know, I didn't research enough, I guess. The sending unit is one size, and the AN fittings need an adapter that uses an O-ring and all that. So one is 16 and this is 14 for the return. So this is the return line, not hooked up yet. Okay, well, and this is ITC billet, made in the USA, not made in China somewhere. 6AN flare to M14 by 1.5 with the O-ring. This is actually meant for power steering pump, I guess, maybe, or something like that, but that's what they have it labeled as. So you got to be a cross-referencing guru to work on a car like this with all kinds of discontinued parts. You know, like I was talking about in the last video, a lot of people that buy these cars and want to work on them, and then they figure out, you know, geez, I can't buy anything. What the heck's going on? And they give up. Or if they know what they're doing, they do what I do. Compromise, cobble something together, homemade, parts from other cars, cross-reference, whatever. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Get this tank down on the tarp so I can drag it around. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Mr. and Mrs. America and all ships at sea. It's Hubba Bubba Doopy Doop, coming to you from behind enemy lines. So I got the fuel rail and injectors and the AN fuel line. I just have it coiled up, attached to the fuel rail. Okay, and I didn't hook up the filter. I didn't, nothing fancy. I just ran it off the tank after the adapters that I had to get, and hung up the lines in the new fuel tank, fuel pump, sending unit, fuel lines, adapters. I couldn't even take out the old fuel lines yet because they're wound around things. I'm not gonna monkey with that right now. I'll just close the hood on it and be done with it. They're not in the way of anything. I just close the hood on them and that's it. Change the oil filter. Got the wheels on. I just washed them out here in the freezing cold. Got the foam cannon. That little Tiger pressure washer comes with a foam cannon, and I use a little microfiber rim cleaner. But yeah, you put the foam cannon on the main gun, and it works pretty good, you know. and whatever product you put on there. So 16s in the rear and 15s in the front. That's just happened to happen like that. If you don't know the history behind this, I ordered 4 15s, and they only had 2 rims left of this kind, and I'm like, well, I don't want oddball wheels, and I don't want oddball tires. So the only way I could get the package was to get 16s and 15s. So I don't want a negative rake. So I put the 15s in the front. It's kind of not really the best view. So I gotta rinse this again. And I'm using really good hot water, you know. And she has threatened me repeatedly with, well, I'm going to have it towed. It's a piece of junk. It's a piece of shit. And she came today and said, I told you to have this done. And I had just gotten the fuel tank in. That was horrible because the straps aren't pre-bent very well. And you have to, here's what the rears look like anyway. Yeah, it's a piece of junk, right? A piece of junk. Nice red caliper, all aluminum under there. New gas tank, straps, all 3 lines, pressure return, evap. I didn't even hook the evap up. The hell with it. They won't throw a coat on this car anyway. I'm not working on nothing no more. Nothing. I'm glad I got the trunk and fuel door working just fine. You push the buttons and they open up just fine. So, alrighty, folks. You're not going to believe this. Look at it out here. It's snowing like crazy. There's my car way over there. You can see the license plate in the edge of the taillight marker. That's my friend's. That's a Challenger. I thought it was a Charger. Well, it's a Challenger. I looked it up. The Charger has 4 doors, and the Challenger's got 2 doors. And it says Challenger right on the front. I didn't even think. This is so wild. I just got done about half an hour ago. And it's actually 26 degrees out here, and it is horrible all of a sudden. I just came inside, haven't even had a shower yet. I just took all my tools and cleaned everything up. The wheels are on. Yeah, I cannot. This is ridiculous. We've already got a 1/4 inch that's coming down hard. Thank Almighty God for giving me the chance to get my car done today. I feel like crying. I just got done. Just in time. I can't even imagine laying on the ground right now. That would be horrible. Okay, folks.
Hasta la vista.